Hey guys, in this video what we're going to talk about is how much does an asphalt roof cost in 2023. So by the end of this video, our goal here is for you to make the best informed decision and be able to get a good idea on how much your roof is going to cost. So an asphalt roof, we have a few different types, but we're really only going to be talking about one type, which is the most popular roof. It's what 95% of homeowners have here in America. Asphalt, you basically most commonly have two types, although there's some others, but we're not going to talk about those. We have a 3-tab shingle, which is literally 3 tabs, and we also have an asphalt laminate shingle, which is actually 2 shingles that are laminated into one. You have your main shingle here on the bottom, and then you have your dragon's teeth here. So this is going to be one of the most durable options you have, and one of the most cost-effective options. The 3 tab is going to be a little bit cheaper, but there's a lot of drawbacks with it where we really don't recommend it on any home, and we've never installed a 3-tab shingle. So in this video, we're going to mainly talking about your laminated asphalt shingle. So from 2020, from the start of the pandemic until now, obviously we've dealt with inflation in many different aspects. But in shingles, it's no different. We had a lot of inflation going on with shingles as well as labor, so that leads to increase in cost of roof. Here recently, we've seen prices stabilize. We have not seen prices really go down compared to, say, lumber, but at least we're not seeing prices go up. So in our local area here in Houston, for the past, I would say 8 months, our prices really haven't changed. They've actually gone down just a little bit, but not really much to where it's going to really affect the overall cost of the roof. So I wanted to go over a specific roofing term that you're going to hear a lot in this video and from other contractors is a square. All a square is a measurement. It's 100 square feet. Think of it as a 10 by 10 square. As we know, area is length times width, so 10 times 10 is 100, or 1 square. What we're seeing here in our local area, the pricing is anywhere from $400 to $500 a square. This is Houston, Texas, keep in mind. We're actually probably one of the cheapest regions in America, because here in Texas, they actually, believe it or not, do not require licensing, do not require workman's comp insurance. So basically here, anyone can call themselves a contractor, unfortunately. When you go to places like California or Florida and some other areas around the United States, not only do they require licensing, but they'll require workman's comp insurance, will affect the price of your roof. After talking with a few contractors around America, prices that we're seeing as low as $400 a square, as high as $800 a square. Again, there are so many factors that can affect the cost of your roof. Here in Texas, we don't have a lot of code requirements, which allows contractors to build a cheaper roof. But say in up north, you're required ice and water shield on all of your eaves. Even on maybe a lower pitch, you might double layer those eaves. Some places, what we're hearing in Florida, they're actually requiring ice and water shield on the entire roof area, which would really cause that roof price to go up there. So the average roof size that we're seeing here in America is about 30 squares. So based on our local area, if you would just take a roof cost of $400 a square, you would take the $400 a square times the 30 squares, that would give you $12,000. That would be the cost of your roof. What I suggest doing to find not only the area of your roof, but maybe the cost of your roof, is to get an aerial measurement report. What that is they take a satellite image of your home from the top down, the eagle eye view, and with their computer software, they're able to draw out your roof and get an exact measurement all the way down to the square foot. One company that we use that's really affordable for this software, and I recommend you doing it. If you're going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 on your roof, I really recommend doing this, is getting an aerial measurement report. Roofer, spelled roofr.com, is a good company that believes only $15 for the measurement report, and they usually get it back to you within 24 hours. With that measurement report, you're able to get all the dimensions of your roof. So your eaves, your rakes, your ridges, valleys, everything, your step flashings. And that way you can actually give this to your contractor so they can get you a really accurate estimate. Most contractors are doing it on their own, and it should come as a free service to you. Here at Integris Roofing, we do provide that measurement report for free to all of our customers. But it helps you really get an informed decision. And unfortunately, God forbid, if there is a contractor out there that would say your roof's bigger than what it is, you have a piece of paper where you can really verify, hey, no, my roof is this square footage. You know, what waste factor are you using? So that leads us into the next subject, waste factor. Waste factor is going to extremely affect the cost of your roof. A gable roof, think of that as like a farm style roof. On average, we use about a 10% waste factor. Then on your standard hip roof, we're going to use about a 15% waste factor. And then if you have a really complex roof with many facets and different slopes, you may use as high as 20 or even sometimes 30% waste. So that waste factor is going to extremely affect the cost of your roof because it's more materials, more labor required to do the job. So we got a sample measurement report printed out. I'll put it up here on the screen. So on this report, the roof is actually 63.3 squares. But on this style of roof, it's a little complex. It has both gables and hips. So on this roof, I would say we'd probably have to use a 15% waste factor. So if you look here on the sheet that says 72.8 squares, we always round up. So in this roof, you would use 73 squares of material and labor. So let's just say the roof cost is $400 a square on the low side. So we take $400 a square, put that in our calculator, go to our 15% waste factor, round up, so times by 73, that gives us $29,200. So that would be a general cost of the roof. Again, it can fluctuate. It can be a few thousand more, it can be a few thousand less, depending on the contractor that you choose, and depending on the materials. So that brings us into what are our price factors? So we talked about the number one price factor, which is the area of your roof. The area and the complexity, which would affect your waste percentage and the amount of materials needed for your roof. Your next variability will be layers. So hopefully your roofer is only tearing off one layer. Sometimes back in the day, it was allowed to do multiple layers, not anymore. But if there is a second layer, that's going to increase the dump costs and increase the labor costs, which will drastically affect the price of your roof. Another one is pitch. How steep is your roof? So believe it or not, more pitch your roof has, the more area your roof is going to have. Because the higher the pitch, the higher the coefficient that you're going to use to find the area of your roof. Another thing that's going to affect the roof costs is the details. So is there step flashing on the roof? Is there wall flashing? Are there dormers? Stuff like that will affect the cost of your roof. Another one is a dead valley. So if you got an area of your roof where the water collects and it's a lower pitch, it's going to require a different type of material, which will increase the cost of your roof. And another big one that people really aren't talking about these days is solar. Solar is a great option for your home to help you lower those utility costs, but if it's installed on your roof, those are penetrations that need to be taken off. So highly suggest you get with a local solar contractor, see what they're going to charge to detach and reset that solar. Again, you could use your roofing contractor for this. They might be able to find or already work with someone that can handle this, but I highly suggest to have the company that installed your solar or a solar company. That way you can ensure that the job is done correctly. Now let's talk about materials used. So the type of materials that you're going to use, the accessories of the roof will influence the cost of your roof. Let me just say this, the number one way a contractor will try to cheap out on your roof is through the accessories and through the stuff that typically gets overlooked. Commonly, your truck contractors, they might not starter strip. So that will void any warranty on your roof, especially will avoid your wind warranty. The starter strip goes around the perimeter of your roof. It is the first shingle on the roof that makes a seal. And then after that, every shingle seals to itself. So make sure whatever contractor you hire that they're putting on starter shingle or starter strip. The next thing, synthetic underlayment. We really don't recommend 15-pound felt paper. Again, it can be used. It's not going to void any warranty. It's just really not recommended. We recommend going with a more durable product called like a synthetic underlayment. It's a vapor barrier as well. It's water resistant. And it provides a safe walkable surface for your roofers, especially if you got a steep roof. This stuff is not going to rip and tear like a 15-pound felt paper. The next thing, what also is outdated, is metal valleys. I really don't recommend metal valleys. We've seen them rust and oxidize and leak at some point. We recommend ice and water shield. It has a sticky adhesive on the backside where it doesn't require nails to be installed. Ice and water shield will be used in your valleys, around your chimneys, any roof to wall junction to waterproof around step flashing or wall flashings. Also, where we recommend putting ice and water is around your penetrations. So ask your contractor, hey, do you wrap your penetrations with ice and water shield? If they say no, just ask them to. I'm sure some of them may not even have thought about it, but if you ask them, they're more than happy to take care of that for you, because it just takes a couple more minutes for each penetration, but it makes a world of a difference. The most common area on your roof that's going to leak is going to be your penetrations. So that brings me to the next product is penetrations. So right here we have your cheapest product, mid to high grade, and then the highest end. So this product here, depending on where you buy it, can be anywhere from $8 to $15. Your bullet boots can be anywhere from $20 to $30. And your ultimate pipe flash, this is going to be anywhere from $70 to $90. So here in Texas, I really don't know why we have so many penetrations. We have on average about 10 on the roof. So with here, if you had 10 on the roof, you're looking at $100, and pipe flashings here, if these are at around 20, you're looking at 200, and here, if you're looking at around 70, 700. So you can see how the price can get fluctuated when it comes to penetrations. Again, pick whatever suits your budget. If you're on a strict budget, this will definitely get you by. It just will require more maintenance. If you can afford to splurge a little bit, I really do recommend either the bullet boot or the ultimate pipe flash. One thing you need to be sure of when hiring a contractor is to make sure that they're replacing everything on your roof, that nothing gets reused. Even if it's a skylight, a metal flashing, you don't want any of that to fail. Of course, metal on some cases can outlast your roof, but it's not going to outlast 2 lifespans of your roof. So here at Integris Roofing, we strongly recommend when replacing a roof to replace everything with it. Again, a pipe boot's only $10. Like it's just extra insurance to ensure that your roof does not leak. Lastly, we'll talk about the last thing that will affect the price of your roof, which would be the contractor that you choose. Every contractor's overhead, labor costs are different. So that's why when you get an estimate, no one estimate's probably going to be the same. But they should be around in the same ballpark with a plus or minus $1,000 or $2,000 depending on the size of your roof. But here are some things that you need to make sure when you're hiring a contractor that you don't budge on, the things that you have to be getting. We already talked about it. One is a full roof system. Number 2 is they replace all the accessories on your roof. Number 3, make sure they're local. So if you have an issue, you want to make sure that they can be able to respond to get out there so you don't have further damage. The next thing is make sure they're insured. Roofing is one of the most dangerous trades out there. You want to make sure that they're not only insured with general liability, but they do carry workman's comp. Also, depending on your region, licensing may be required. I wish we had it here in Texas, but unfortunately we don't. But make sure if your region, if they do require licensing, that they do carry a valid license. And one thing is inspection. I'm just going to say this here. Here at Integris Roofing, we do an inspection on both the attic and on the roof. It's 100% necessary. If your contractor does not go in the attic, that is not a good sign. Honestly, I can't recommend hiring a roofing contractor who does not do a proper inspection. Hey guys, just want to say thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you got some good information out of it, give us a good thumbs up there and hit the subscribe button. We're going to go ahead and release a lot more roofing related content, go really in depth on types of shingles, costs of different types of roofs as well. We'll talk about metal and tile. Also, if you need help estimating the cost of your roof, just go ahead and send us an email to Cody@Integris Roofing. We'd be glad to help you with that. Also, if you're in trouble deciding between a few estimates, send us an email as well. Any way we can help you, that's what we're here for. Again, thank you guys, and see you in the next video.